Welcome back in, everyone, to another casted game of Age of Empires 4, where today, on the right side of the map, we're going to be seeing Ape play as the English, and on the left side of the map, we're going to be seeing Lord Voldemort play as the Byzantines. Lord Voldemort is, of course, Dimmu on Twitch, and today, the map is going to be Relic River. Now, on Relic River, all of the relics are literally just scattered out around the river here. As we can see, there's two, one on each side of this river. So I would like to see some fights over these relics in the center of the map, just because it would be fun for me to watch. And over here on the English side, we did get a barracks down. So literally, as soon as the game started, Ape placed a barracks down, and they are rushing out those early men-at-arms. These men-at-arms are produced faster on the English side of the map, and our Byzantine player does look like they're just trying to get their sister network online to boost that production as quickly as possible. So I am really curious how this men-at-arm rush is going to work out, because that was a Dark Age barracks there for that English player. Very, very quick barracks, which is going to cost them a lot of wood, of course, in the early game. They're gonna need to put villagers over to wood. They did get their house down at least, but they're now gonna need more villagers on wood to be able to start making mills and mining camps. And as you can see, they don't even have a mining camp yet. They just got the 50 stone there for a mining camp. So they were just using their starting gold here to produce that early men-at-arms. And as we can see, two men-at-arms are working their way over to go and harass this stone production. Dimmu does spot this immediately and begins to move his villagers off of stone so that way they don't die to these men-at-arms. An outpost going down over the gold to protect from this early men-at-arms rush. And I am curious if Dimmu is just going to go for the economy route, working on building up his economy and just ignore this rush, or if he's going to go grab some military production buildings. And it looks like at the moment, Dimmu is just focusing on getting that economy online. Fully just ignoring this men-at-arms rush, trying to get this outpost down, but ultimately these villagers do have to get pulled back. Now all of the villagers are running over here. It looks like Dimmu just does want to get this outpost down no matter what to protect this gold. And the Byzantines do have the ability to activate spears on their villagers whenever they're within the vicinity of this cistern. So that's spear defense did get activated really quickly, and this outpost did go up, and now these men-at-arms are going to be in a lot of danger, so they do have to fall back here for Ape, and one does fall. That is pretty rough there for Ape. The fact that that outpost did go down and kill one of those early men-at-arms, that's going to be a pretty huge resource loss there in the early game for Ape. Very unfortunate. Over here on this side of the map, it looks like all of these villagers are now moving over to Deer. They need to boost their food production. And is Ape dedicating himself? This is a villager, okay? I was wondering if this was another men-at-arms, but it looks like at the moment we just have 3 men-at-arms on the battlefield. I wonder if any more are being produced. Not at the moment. I think Ape, as the English, does want to get their economy into a better spot before producing more military units, because all of those resources did take away from their early economy. The men-at-arms that are already out are going to start working on burning down this quarry here over the stone. Up here, the scout has got a pretty good amount of sheep. I do want to check who has the most sheep. Oh, and Lord Voldemort has way more sheep. There's his scout right there. Beautiful sheep collection there for Lord Voldemort. Sister Network has been expanded. We now have the level 2 bonus to all. We now have the level 2 bonus to all production in the range of these cisterns. And we are getting a grand winery. And what this grand winery is going to do is boost food production within its aura as well, just like these cisterns. But what's significant about placing this on these berries here is that the berries produce 50% of the food gathered as olive oil, which is insanely good. So putting this grand winery down on top of the berries means that they're not only getting really good olive oil production from the berries themselves, but it's even boosted by the grand winery as well. And as we can see now, it looks like Ape is going to try and tower rush this gold over here for Dimmu. So I think what Ape's plan is to deny this gold as long as possible. I just now realized the English player is not in feudal age yet, as that Grand Winery is almost completed. It looks like we do need to get a age up over here on this side of the map. And there it is, the Abbey of Kings. Going down, we are going to get that unique king unit. And as we can see, Ape is beginning to put these farms down within the vicinity of the mill for that boosted farm production. And those farms are, of course, 50% for the English. The olive oil production is ramping up. I am curious what mercenary contract we're going to see out of the Byzantines today. As these men-at-arms continue to deny this stone production. Was this... Oh my goodness, these villagers are just outside of the range of this tower. If this tower was one block over, I think it would have been able to hit these villagers. Oh, now that villager is within the range, so it looks like this villager just needs to be microed back a little bit more, and they will be outside of that range. There it is, right there. Perfect. Beautiful play. But what Ape is doing here is constantly using this men-at-arms here to harass this gold. And so Demo has to pay attention to this right here and make sure that one of these villagers doesn't die. But every time they go back to work from that building, the villager does actually go within the range of that tower there. And as we can see, one villager did die. Very, very unfortunate there for Lord Baltimore. But Lord Baltimore is entirely focused on the economy at this point. We are just now getting the first mercenary house and the first barracks down at about 6.5 minutes into the game. And Ape is doing their best. They did get one villager kill. Ape is doing their best to slow down this economic boom on this side of the map. But the Byzantines has so many production boosts that it's just going to be really difficult to slow that down. So we have to ask ourselves, was the trade-off of spending all of those early resources on military units worth it when it comes to trying to slow down this economy, or would it have been worth it to spend all of those resources on the English economy to get that military production boosted later in the game, be in a better spot? These two villagers still on gold, still outside of the range of this tower. It looks like there's one men-at-arms in the tower, I'm pretty sure, while this men-at-arms and Scout are working on burning down this. Oh, one man-at-arms does fall. Unfortunate there for Ape. And these guys over here are going to work down that mining camp right there. The Scout is in a lot of danger of dying. I do want to check what mercenary contract we are going with. We went with the longbows. So these ranged units will be able to stay far away from these men-at-arms if they're microed well. We do have the king unit out now for the English player. This king unit running in to try and harass these villagers on a stone. That cistern network is not at level 5 just yet. So Lord Baltimore is still looking for some more stone. One villager on gold does hop into the outpost to protect their lives. And what is the English player doing over on this side of the map? Actually, it looks like the scout is so close to death. We have a couple spears over here, and that scout did go down because of those bows on the English villagers. And our English player not expanding their military production just yet. We just still have this one singular barracks. And I am curious what our English player is doing. It looks like they're going for a castle age at the moment. So maybe they're going to try and use the white tower to defend on this side of the map. And what's also interesting is this English player did not go for a second TC. I do see a lot of English players going for 2 TC. I think because of the amount of boost to production over here on the Byzantine sides does go 2 TC less often. Just they can boost their economy so much with all of their landmarks and their cistern network. This outpost now working on burning down this mining camp. It does look like that range got a buff there. And over here on this side of the map, the English player is going for the King's Palace. Now, this is going to work as a second TC. I was just saying I'm surprised the English player didn't go for that second TC, but they're using the King's Palace as a second TC, so now they will be able to catch up economically and potentially even surpass the Byzantines economy if they get enough villagers out. Now, Demu can shut this down as well. Demu can go start harassing. Now, they do have a really good amount of longbows here from that mercenary camp. They do produce in batches, which is incredibly strong over here for the Byzantine side. Demu has gotten a really nice military together. And we can see on the bottom of the screen that Demu is about 1,000 resources ahead, which is a pretty good. That Byzantine boost definitely coming in handy. And I'm a little surprised we have not seen more farms on this side of the map. I guess Ape is fully dedicating to this deer at the moment. But within these mills, that farm production is boosted to a really, really good degree. Lord Baltimore now moving in to make their first attack after successfully defending from those early men-at-arms. Units just looking for a clearing and a path to attack, and as we can see, several reinforcements are on the way. These longbows producing in batches is just going to be devastating over here for Ape as the English. All these villagers do have to retreat away from the deer at the moment, and some farms down under the TC would be really, really nice for Ape here. It'd be a lot easier to defend. It looks like these units are now going over to berries. They are going to take map control of these map resources first. Now, Lord Baltimore is making their rams. It looks like they're going for a ram push at the moment. And we do have a castle age up on this side of the map. English did finish that. I know I did call it out earlier, but our Byzantines player does not have that castle age just yet. It does look like the food is almost there. But we still need that gold on this side of the map. These unique rams from the Byzantines are, of course, upgraded with Greek fire, so they are going to be extra devastating here for Ape as the English. And Ape is going to have to mass produce units here to help defend. Looks like we need a lot of horsemen and archers to counter these units on this side of the map. And both of these military production buildings look like they're going to fall. Very unfortunate placement here for Ape as the English, putting them on the outside of their base. It looks like these are very, very exposed. And I think even this Abbey of Kings is going to fall as well. On this side of the map, just not very many military production buildings down yet. And the ones that did exist have been burned down. Lord Baltimore making a absolutely devastating attack after defending from that early rush. And focusing on that economy, I think, did pay off a lot. And getting their economy to a state where they could just start mass producing units is really, really good. This king unit did try to go harass, but is ultimately chased out of the area by some spears. Now these units fully dedicated to burning down this TC on the English side of the map. Some longbows here for the English player, but they have been completely and totally outnumbered by the Byzantines longbows. And this attack just seems absolutely devastating for Ape. And I don't know how they're going to recover from this. It looks like a few units did get glitched out for a moment. And these longbows are just doing so much damage. Now it looks like they have free reign to attack villagers as much as they want. This TC is still getting a lot of damage. And as we can see, a ton of villagers now run in to start burning down these rams, but ultimately have to leave because these longbows are chasing them out of the area. And it looks like Lord Baltimore has decided to just fully commit to this push here and is going to lose all of these military units eventually. But the amount of idle time that Lord Baltimore has caused here is going to be devastating on this side of the English player. Even if they can't finish off this player at the moment, the villagers on this side of the map are just not working and making food. And also Lord Baltimore has gotten 9 villager kills, and it looks like both of the militaries on either side have been absolutely completely depleted. And Ape is still in this fight. This TC did not get fully burned down. It was so close to falling, but just barely. Ape was able to save this TC. And now Lord Baltimore does need to regroup their army because they lost a vast majority of it in that push. This tower is still just working on shooting down this mining camp with some arrows. Absolutely hilarious. We do get a golden horde tower over here for Lord Baltimore, and this is going to produce free units over time as well. So many ways to amass units with the Byzantines. They are just the Swiss Army knife of civilizations. I do love the Byzantines. And the resources gathered is becoming stronger on this side of the map over here for the Byzantines player. They are staying pretty far ahead. While as we can see at the bottom of the map as well, 93% efficiency for the villagers for the English player, while 99% of efficiency over here for the Byzantines villagers. And now we are getting these olive groves down to help with that olive oil production. Are there any more berries near Lord Baltimore? It looks like they are mostly vacuumed up. There is one more berry bush right here. This would be really, really good olive oil production. And we are also seeing the cataphracts roll out. Cataphracts are an incredibly fun, heavy armor cavalry unit. And oh my goodness, during that push, it looks like I missed most of the relics. We are at a 2-2 split at the moment for the relics. Ape does have one relic in the hand of a monk somewhere. It looks like it's right here. And the only relic left on the map is this one all the way at the bottom. And it looks like Lord Baltimore is moving a monk over here to pick that up. And so now Dimu will have 3 relics, while Ape will have 2. These cataphracts moving in to try to get some more villager kills, but ultimately chased out by these TCs here and this outpost. A lot of idle villagers over here, back here in the wood line. And Ape is still in this game, doing their best to recover from that devastating loss. The wall goes down, but ultimately the cataphract is able to kill that monk pretty easily. And now several cataphracts have joined the party for Lord Baltimore, and they are just devastating over here for the English player. Absolutely brutal. We can see that Lord Baltimore does have 2 armor upgrades to that ranged armor, which is going to help them dive these TCs a lot easier. Looks like one monk running over here to pick up this relic. Oh my goodness, is Lord Baltimore going to be able to get control of 4 relics? It looks like that is a potential at the moment. This relic is just up for grabs since that monk did go down. The cataphract's just doing so much damage, cleaning up so many villager kills back here, and this is just brutal harassment from Lord Baltimore at the moment. And the crossbows have started to roll out for the English player, but I don't think they have gotten to high enough numbers to deal enough damage here. And multiple of them fall to these cataphracts. Now the knights are rolling out to try and protect those crossbows as well. Lord Baltimore beginning to get that sacred site victory on the map as well, and has also picked up this 4th relic. Ape is really on the back foot here, but is still very much in this game. We are getting some farm expansions here, and the military production has been moved to the back of the base to try and make sure that that doesn't get raided and raised again. But our Byzantines player has just greatly outnumbered our English player in military value. And now we are getting more of these unique rams with that Greek fire upgrade. They are just going to be absolutely devastating. Lord Baltimore expanding the olive grove production, making sure that they're never out of olive oil, and getting another monastery down as well. A full push now from Lord Baltimore into the English base. They want to make sure to burn down these military production buildings again, so the Ape just cannot keep up in military production. It looks like these buildings are going to fall pretty easily. Do we have a defensive army here for the English? It looks like most of the army has been wiped out, unfortunately, for Ape at the moment. Now Lord Baltimore going in to burn down this monastery as well. Potentially going to steal this relic. Is there another monk on the way? I bet eventually Lord Baltimore will move a monk over here. One knight trying to get in the back of Lord Baltimore's base, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do much at the moment. And now the military for Lord Baltimore is just burning down every single building they come into contact with, and it doesn't seem like our English player has enough defenses to hold this back. Multiple rams being pushed in now to take out these mills and houses and archery ranges. More outposts going up for the English player. But their military production has just been absolutely devastated. They are trying to get some more buildings up back here, but this is just so expensive. 150 wood for every building, and they are losing 150 wood on this side of the map for every building that burns down as well. A brutal attack. Lord Baltimore has done an incredible job of defending from that early rush and then making sure their economy stays online so they can mass produce units later in the game. And now I think Ape, as the English, has just been completely and totally overwhelmed. They're trying their best to defend, but these cataphracts are just so strong. that they're just going to be able to push into this TC here and burn this down while the Ram is continuing to burn down this military production in the back. These villagers could be used to burn down this one specific Ram, and it looks like that's what they're going to do at the moment. The Cataphracts charging into all of these crossbows and absolutely decimating them. Those crossbows all fall immediately, and so do several villagers as well. The longbows do take out that king unit for the English player, and this is just a brutal attack. And Ape calls it with the GG. We got another one that just ended instantly. Lord Baltimore won that one. Thank you all so much for being here and for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys do enjoy, please consider leaving a like or even subscribing, and I hope to see each and every one of you in the next video. Bye.